We'll start out. What's up? I'm Tuck Farr. This is my co-host,
Mike.
And this is the podcast. Okay, I think we're going to start out with story time. Get a little background info going on here. This is a story that I don't share often because it's kind of a big fucking deal, but you know, fuck it happened. So we'll dive right in. When I was a junior in high school, there was this girl who was a senior that had turned 18, and her parents thought it was a grand idea to buy her own house. And she was not the type that needed, you know, the maturity level, I don't believe, was there. Because all we ever did over there was party, you know what I mean? Like, and she had a habit of fucking, like, 40-ish-year-old dudes, give or take. You know, she's 18, it's legal. But, you know, they can get the beer there and what have you. But we partied over there all the time, you know. Well, one time my buddy and I are over there, me and my buddy Chris, and we're fucked up, you know. We've been smoking some weed, you know, drinking a lot of beer, and we're fucked up. And I was like 16 at the time. I think Chris was 17. Well, as we started to look around, we realized the our age crowd's starting to dwindle out, and there's just like this dude she's cracking, and then like his buddies who, you know, it's kind of grown, I wouldn't say middle-aged, because, you know, I'm getting in my 30s now, you know, but it felt old at the time, right? Well, as everybody else got kind of wandered off, and then it's just me and Chris and like 5 middle-aged dudes, and then this girl, and they're like, y'all need to leave. We're like, dude, we're 16, 17 years old and fucking trashed. You know what I mean? Like, we can't drive a car right now. And they were like, well, you better leave. We're like, please, man, just let us stay long enough to sober up. Well, whatever. And they're like, no, you better leave or we're going to rape you. And we were like, ha, 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 that's a hilarious joke. That's funny. That's funny. And then one of them started taking it too far, and he started taking his shirt off, and then a couple of them started backing Chris into this corner, and they're joking, but it's going too far. They're heavily intoxicated and shit. So I made my way around this crowd because Chris was smaller build. He would have been easier to rape, you know, but they're on him. And my truck was sitting right there by the house, pointed that way down the road. Here's a main road, and then this side road goes off. The house is on the corner. My truck's sitting right here. I do not have time, you know, to get to the truck. It's a Dodge Dakota with the manual locks and shit. Chris had a Mercury Mountaineer with a fob. So as he broke away, he hits the fob, and he's like, this way. And we run to his car that's at the end of the road. And it was facing this way, his was, so we just jetted out of there, and we didn't know what to do because we're fucking trash, dude. So we just went to Waffle House, and I'm just so miserable drunk at this point. I ain't got $1 in my damn name. Chris had like a few dollars. The Waffle House cook, thank you to this Waffle House guy, okay? Well, like, I feel like Waffle House employees are the most compassionate in these sorts of situations.
They've been there.
Because it's like 1 a.m. and I'm just laying on the fucking table, just trying to sober up. I'm like drinking as much water as they'll give me. And the dude comes over and just gives me a waffle, and I eat it. And when it gets later on in the night, we're trying to sober up. I'm like, come on, dude. But eventually Chris is like, dude, I got to go home. You know, I got a curfew. Like, I've got to get home. I was like, fuck, take me in the truck, you know. And he pulls up on this main road, and here's the side road. My truck's sitting right here by the house. He drops me off, and he's just watching. And I like sneak up to the truck, and I do the little manual locks, you know, with the key. And as I'm getting in, they come walking out of the house, and they go, there he is. And I hop in, I fire it up, and I had a glass pack on there because I like to be loud. You know, that's the first thing I did when I started driving that truck. So I cut that muffler off and put a cherry bomb. Man. Yeah, well, it's cultural. You know,
cultural rule.
Disturbing the peace. I had a cherry bomb. I ordered the T-shirt at the same time as the muffler. I ordered directly from the Cherry Bomb website. Yeah, so I take off down this road, and I realize it's a dead end. So I have to circle back around, and I'm haul assing. Dude, I'm all the way in the gas. I never let out. And then when I get back to the house, there's a guy standing in the middle of the road going, stop. I'm not stopping, okay? Not like there's threat of rape, bruh. Right. So I'm driving this way. He's standing in the middle of the road, and at the last second, I just went, whoop, and I heard but I went to the end of the road and just left. I thought he had reached out and hit his hand on it. And then Chris and I never spoke of it again. Just keep in mind, I was 16 years old. Chris and I graduated high school He went off to work in Denmark. He was overseas for a couple of years, worked for Schlumberger.
I worked for them.
Really?
Oddly enough, in oil.
Yeah, he was in Denmark. He had a lot of insight on the BP oil spill. Like, he knew exactly what went wrong and shit.
Sure.
But he had brought me some Cuban cigars. We were in our early 20s, and he had smuggled me back some Cuban cigars, and we're drinking and shit. And that night came up. He was like, dude, I can't believe you run that guy over. I was like,
what?
What? He said, yeah, like you ran his fucking leg over. And I was like, what? You know, I was like, I thought he hit the truck. And he goes, no. Keep in mind, this has been like 6-7 years.
Right.
So it's not like I didn't report an accident. I didn't know it happened.
Right.
We just didn't speak of it. That's the most gangster shit I've ever seen. What happened is there was a guy in the road trying to stop me as another guy over here was stepping out into the road to jump in front of the truck. And as soon as I cut over, it like knocked him over, and apparently his leg was kind of like this against the curb. And Chris said from the end of the road, he just watched that motherfucker fold up under that tire. And I'd say to this day, it probably still hurts him when it rains. Dude, if you remember that, fuck you. Fuck you, okay?
You tried to rape me.
You tried to fucking rape us. It's self-defense at that point, you know. But I didn't even know that happened, dude. Right. Like, we were in our 20s before we ever come back to that and talked about it. And I was like, oh goddamn. I was 16 years old when I run a man over with my truck. It's just weird to up and figure out. Oh, but man.
Well, clearly he wasn't doing anything that was good, so he didn't call the police and deal with the police.
Oh, I didn't even know.
This man ran me over.
Yeah, well, we were just going to give him a light raping, and he fucking crushed my leg into a million pieces.
We're trying to gangbang this chick here, and these two underage kids that we got drunk with the alcohol we provided wouldn't leave, so we threatened to rape them. And then he run my friend over.
Yeah, and then he crushed my damn leg with a pickup truck. Fuck you, you know? Wow. Fuck him. Oh, but another gang stories like that? No.
Not like that one.
me and Chris one time got kicked out of a taxi together.
Yeah.
Dude, okay. So this might have been the same visit. He brought the Cuban cigars, and there was a Jake's Cigar Bar in Brandon Crossing in Lexington. Well, it's like between Lexington and Nicholasville. So we decided, you know, it would be bullshit to smoke a Cuban cigar at the house. We need to go to the cigar bar and show these motherfuckers what we got. They were H. Upman's. Yeah. So we went over there, and I'm starting to drink. And then I was pretty well broke at this point. So as I got half drunk and I wanted more beer, I started just being belligerent. And I was like, somebody needs to buy me a beer right now, or I'm going to take off in my truck and drive. And I'm drunk. So this blood will be on your hands. And everybody's like ignoring me and shit. So I got in the truck and I started doing laps around the parking lot. I was like, I'm doing it. And finally somebody was like, fine, we'll buy you some fucking beer. But I get drunker, and then I'm like, Chris, you want to go to Two Keys Tavern in downtown Lexington? And he was like, fuck yeah. So we got a taxi to go to Two Keys, where we got fucking destroyed, dude. It was 2-for-1 mixed drinks tonight, and I was already so drunk when we showed up. I said, don't mix it. Give me 2 shots of vodka in a cup and then a cup of Sprite. And I did that several times. I ended up fucked up. And then some UK player come through the back of the bar. And I was a mechanic at this time. Like, when you work on cars just all day, your hands are just,
you wash them.
It doesn't matter.
They're filthy.
But,
scrub.
You know, and he was all fancy in his fucking UK get up and shit, and everybody's shitting a brick, and I didn't give a fuck, because I don't care about athletics at all, you know. But me trying to be cool and shit, I was like, hey, man. And he looked down at my hand and he goes, your hands are dirty. And Chris saw the look on my fucking face, and I mean, like, I'm starting to mean mug this motherfucker, and he's this damn tall, but I didn't give a fuck, dude. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what the fuck he played, but he was a big old boy, and I probably would have lost that. But damn it, I was drunk and I was pissed. I didn't give a fuck. And Chris takes me, and we go outside, and there was a drop off about that far outside the door. It's like it used to be a normal size drop off, but as concrete built up over the years, it's just a little awkward. Sure. And then I go to step outside, and I kind of stumble, and this cop's standing right there. He looks at me and goes, you need to get in some vehicle right now, or you're going to jail. And Chris saw me give that cop the look. He was like, nope, nope, nope. Because, I mean, dude, I was belligerent. I was gone. Well, we got in, he called the taxi driver, the same taxi driver that had got us there. And he come and got us. At this point, I was just so damn drunk. I was fucking going ape shit about how pissed off I was at this UK player and fuck him, this, that, and the other thing. And at some point, I don't know, I pissed the cab driver off enough to where I got out of the cab and I look around and we're not at my damn house. We're at Burger King. I pissed him off so much we got kicked out. We got kicked out of this taxi just up and at a Burger King. And I was like, and fucking Chris is talking to the damn cab driver. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. And I walk up, I'm like, fuck it, I want a burger anyway. I've got the drunk munchies. I walk up to the door and there's just some poor kid just trying to mind his own business and do his work. He's just sweeping the floor. And my drunk ass is beating on the door. And he just looks at me and just shakes his head like a pretty polite, we're closed. Like it's the wee hours of the morning.
Well, I'm in here, but we're not open.
So I said, all right, motherfucker. And I grabbed that big cigarette urn by the door and I threw it across the parking lot and it nails this fucking car. Nails the fuck out of it. And I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Fuck this. That. It turns out somebody was in it, probably there to pick him up. And the window rolled down about that much. And somebody said, I'm calling the police. And Chris is like, and I got the look on my face again. And Chris is just like, run. I'm like, you're right. So we take off haul assing. And we made it all the way behind Kroger on Nicholasville Road. This part gets fuzzy. I remember, I have like mental images of just running behind Chris. And then I woke up in my bed in the morning. And what had happened, and I went to work. This is where this story continues to get worse. Apparently, we got to behind that Kroger where I just vomited. I got down on a hands and knees, vomited, passed out right in it. And then Chris, being not near as drunk as I was, had to figure out how to go through Facebook and get a hold of my wife so she could come get us. And apparently she even did. And I woke up at 7:30 and it's a work day, bro. I'm like, oh no. But dude, I was a stellar employee. I still went up in that motherfucker. But I carried the weight of a lot of that team a lot of days. So I'm like, I'm going to coast today. I'm going to coast today. I've earned it. I get in there and it's a tire store and we'd use S&S, the warehouse. You'd have, like, we just had a driver going back and forth. Like as people bought tires, you just literally run over there and grab them instead of keeping a whole bunch of stock. Well, as soon as I walked in that motherfucker, the sun was so loud, everything hurt.
The sun was so loud.
It was so loud, it was so fucking terrible. I was in so much pain. And they go, you're the driver today. The driver called in, I was like, oh.
The one time.
And I worked over 12 hours that day. It was the worst ever. Cause like, I'm just driving like, oh my God, I shouldn't have drove that truck. Sure. But I did. I didn't wreck it once. But
practice.
There are people that can drive drunk and people that can't.
Right. I had a shop teacher in high school. He always told us on Friday afternoons, don't drink and drive, you might spill your drink. He would say beer. He'd say, you don't drink and drive, you might spill your beer.
Yeah, and that'd be terrible. Man, this is the time of year where I used to love working at a shop because you could just leave a case of beer in the bed of the truck.
Sure.
And as soon as you get off, there was, I worked at one place in Lexington while I was staying with my parents in Versailles. We had staged our house in Lexington. If you've ever staged a house and then tried to sell it, it is a nightmare living in a house you're trying to sell.
Sure.
Because you're constantly everything has to be just so. You want to be ready for somebody to look at it at any time. So we just staged it and left it and stayed in a spare room at my parents' house. Well, I will tell you, there were a lot of Keystone Light cans up and down the rural roads between Lexington and Versailles. Beautiful horse country, and then it looked like that little machine from Twister come through there. There was cans all up and down that mower.
Dorothy?
That's the one. That's the one.
Oh, that's good stuff. Man.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Somebody was making like replicas of the movie, the pieces out of pop cans, like Sprite and Coke cans and stuff. The little pieces they made after the first one got screwed up. Yeah. That's my wife's favorite movie. I think that's got to be her favorite movie.
It was a good one. It was definitely a good one. I don't think they make movies like they used to. There's just not as much. The depth isn't there. Like the whole premise of a film is just not what it used to be.
I tried explaining to her what the difference is between
Fire of creativity.
Like the movie era that I'm thinking of from the 80s, 90s, all that era there.
Martha Stewart.
It was movies telling stories with real people behind a camera. Everything was happening. Like Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction doesn't have a bunch of special effects in it.
Quentin Tarantino, buddy.
Pulp Fiction has some stuff like CGI, I mean, because it has special effects, like gunshot in the car, all that's special effects. But what it doesn't have is a bunch of fake crap. It's got a bunch of real, practical, stuff that makes for awesome cinematography. And Quentin Tarantino's got to be, he's one of my top, he's got to be top 3 on my director list.
And he doesn't give a fuck, like...
Inglourious Basterds, great film.
Well, and...
Reservoir Dogs, great film.
Another one I really liked a lot? That M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Yeah, the twist king. He's the twist guy. He likes to change the story partway through, and you're like, huh?
Yeah. See, sometimes... See, I like the way you're doing this editing shit, because, like, you've got it figured out. As soon as I do this, right now, you'll switch to the other angle. Watch him do it.
It's just practicality. And sometimes it's right in there, but it's all relative. There's no context to what's in there, so it doesn't matter. Yes,
but it's like you understand the game. Like, there are a set of rules in this shit, and they're not 100% clear as to what you can do and what you can't do. That's just very generalized, but if you can figure out where the lines are.
Right.
So that's part of them.
Well, earlier in the conversation, I'm going to have to playfully edit the word rape into grape.
Yeah.
Maybe just put a grape over top of it when you say rape, so that they hear grape.
No, them boys were straight up. They,
only because of the algorithm stuff and the other BS. Because what we need to understand. Oh, speaking of the algorithm stuff, we're going to be expanding, people. We're going to be expanding. We're going to jump over to Rumble. We're hopping on that freaking bandwagon. That's the right wing. I won't say right wing because I don't know if it would be
the correct wing.
It is opposite. Big, tech and that crap. So the goal there is to be a part of a community where people aren't reporting each other because their feelings got hurt.
I will tell you.
Over facts.
I had a really interesting conversation with my mother-in-law the other day. She lives in Lexington, and we were just talking about kind of politics, our stances on a lot of the big issues that are going on right now. And the only real difference that we could come up with, she swore to me that she leaned left, and I told her, like, I lean a little right, but I'm fairly centric, and I feel like you are too. And we got to talking about this and that, and every single issue we talked about, we had the exact same opinion, including abortion. This is one that I want to cover. They act like it is a black and white yes or no. Gosh damn. Now.
Hashtag Clinton.
All right. They act like it's just yes or no. But me, my exact stance on it is, personally, I disagree morally with it being used as just straight up birth control.
Recreational?
Recreational abortion. I disagree with it morally. I would never say that a woman who's a victim of rape or incest or any of these scenarios that are brought up, I would never, insist that that woman carry that baby, if it's medical, whatever it may be. I believe also that most of your people who would get an abortion are not using it, all the damn time. Most of them aren't. So this issue that we're all fighting about is probably a few percent of cases anyway.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's so polarizing.
Even the trans community is a tiny percentage of our entire population.
But, like, I, being an American, leaning right, I do not believe that I have the say over what somebody else does. Right. I disagree with it morally. I choose not to engage, but I can't tell other people how to do it.
If you had an opinion, you'd voice your opinion. But I think it's the same view I have, which is, I don't care what you do. But when you're asking me about something that affects a bunch of people, then I have to make a statement and choose one or the other.
Yeah.
I agree with your stance on that. I don't think recreational abortions should be.
Yeah, like that shouldn't be just the go-to. Like, that's my birth control.
Right. And there's so many people that do that. I remember there's a show on. I can't remember the network, but it was a bunch of ladies. They were talking about the stuff, and this chick was crying, and she said that she just had an abortion. And she said that it was twins, and a bitch in the background, and I'm saying a bitch.
Oh, double homicide.
She goes, damn, double homicide. And she goes, bitch, what? And I'm like, oh, but you brought it on yourself.
Yeah.
What were you doing when you conceived those twins? Were you in a relationship with someone? Was it just reckless fun? You know, you got to plan these things out. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's
just,
that's
in the world we live in. 200 years ago, you just had kids when you wanted to have kids.
Well, you'd have 10 of them. You'd have damn 10 of them because fucking 7 or 8 of them were going to die before adulthood anyway.
Sure.
You ever played the Oregon Trail?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You fucking I tell you what, I do like a big old fat ass. A whole Oregon Trail's worth of wagon. You know what I mean? Just fucking slap it, and that slap goes all the way to the other side and comes back.
There you go.
And then I set my cup up on her booty like a coaster.
Yeah.
No, I'm starting to get a little high now.
There you go.
But no.
If you smack it and it stops jiggling before you finish saying, damn,
Yeah.
it's not big enough.
Yeah, when she's walking in the damn room, it should be like a T-Rex.
Yeah.
Like where you have a little cup of water. Oh, goddamn. Dude, when it comes to like women and shit, well, you an ass or titties man.
Sure.
Or both.
Well, me for sure, I'm an ass man, but I'm definitely ass and titties is my thing. I like a nice handful on the front or the back.
Gotcha.
You know, but if I had to choose, I mean, God, I like the hips and the ass, so probably the ass man.
Yeah, I'm a leg dude. Like a good set of legs is about a motherfucker to deal with because you're just God damn it. You know, it's good hairy armpits and shit. Sure. No, I'm kidding.
There's also women who are there's like a balance because I feel like there's just a balance of everything.
Fat girls try harder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that right now.
There should be a balance.
Look, my brethren, if you are a woman, go ahead and mute this for a couple minutes here. My brethren, if you're just needing to drain that old pouch, okay, don't overlook them big old girls. Because I'm telling you, like they appreciate you. They're happy to be there. They feel honored to be selected, you know, in this process. You want the ones that are like so big that you know they're not washing their whole ass. Because they can't reach their whole ass, you know. Bonus points if you look in her fucking tub and she's got one of them loofahs on a stick. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're like, oh shit, there's still hope. Yes. You ever get into one of them that has that BBW smell? Oh man, the old BBW smell. That's where you know there's moisture pockets that don't get accessed all the time. Yeah. You know?
It's like that's out in a while.
Yeah. Because gotta love them.
That's some OG Smalls right there.
Yeah. I'm not going to say who it was in my life recently. I'm not going to tell you what my relation to them was or anything, but I saw this woman that I know for the first time in a while the other day. And goddamn, I'm starting to think about how many people might be like, were you talking about me? No.
Why are you talking about me?
No. Yeah. But she put on a hell of a goddamn fupa. Like she just done it's literally didn't even go to her belly, just went straight to the fupa. And I will tell you right now, I love this woman dearly, but she is definitely a whore now. Because I've never seen a bitch built like that. That wasn't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's
the fupa like that.
An area.
A fupa like that's built from straight pounding.
Right.
That's that pelvic bone building that fupa. That's a callus. That is a callus is what that is.
I think there's a bell curve. And on both sides of the bell curve, there's
that
bell curve heavy, on this side of the bell curve is light. And on this side of the bell curve climbing up, there's this heavy girl that's just a hoochie. And then all the way on the other side, there's this hot girl that's a hoochie. So on the spectrum, you've got hot girl hoochie, fat girl hoochie.
Yeah.
And they're the same, just different.
I will tell you though, women, this is for you. It does not matter how fucking hot you are. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how attractive you are. A man can get sick of your shit and you will age. So like, don't expect to just show up and drop a mediocre piece of pussy that has good aesthetics and like have a motherfucker forever. Because you know what? For every attractive woman out there is a man that got sick of her shit. If she has an ex, there's a man out there that says, fuck that bitch. And he's sick of her shit. Yep. Every one of them, dude. It doesn't matter. Every single one. Don't matter how.
Yeah, I think
there's a dude out there sick of her shit.
Trying. You just need to try because relationships are not 50-50. They're 100%. You give 100%, they give 100%. So sexual stuff, same way. If you're not having fun with your old lady and vice versa with your old man, whether you're the lady or the man, if you're not having fun with the person that you chose to spend the rest of your life with, you need to figure out what you're doing because that's the person that you can say, hey, I kind of want to try something and see what happens.
Yeah, get your butt ate and shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't care. You know, there is nothing gay about a woman eating your butt. There ain't nothing gay about it because in order to be gay, it has to be two dudes. Right? Other than that, it's just like even getting your prostate milked, for instance. I don't give a fuck, dude. I used to do meth. I don't care. I'm going to tell y'all how it is. Having your prostate milked as a man, having it done by a woman is just smart because it's just, that is, what's the word I'm looking for here? Biology. That is just how you're fucking built, bro.
Your G-spot.
Look, if God didn't want you to use it, he wouldn't have fucking put it there. Yeah. You know? But now what happens is, it feels really good. And then all of a sudden, muscles in your forehead that you didn't even know you had start to come together, and then it'll feel like you suck into a black hole, and then you explode with such ferocity that you are sure this bitch is dead. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you'd be like, oh fuck, you still okay? No, it's different. It's just it's anatomy, bro. Fucking dude. And I've done some weird shit to bust a nut. I whacked off in the bathroom of the Catholic Church when I was 13. That is what testosterone is like for a boy. Okay, this is what I'm getting it.
Was there confession afterwards?
No, but it really was fucking distracting because I don't remember, bro. It was distracting. It took me a minute because they had piped in the goddamn service into a speaker. Sure. So I'm literally listening to it, trying to fucking. But okay, that's the level of testosterone you go through as a boy going through puberty. Right. That is the level. It's discomfort. You know what I mean? To where I had to go burp my worm in the goddamn bathroom at church because I was going to die. I whacked off in an airplane. No, but that is the testosterone that turns up from a boy into a man. That's what stretches the frame. That's what causes that. If you bomb him with soy...
You burped your worm?
I'm Jack and the Beanstalk, brother.
Oh my God, I've never heard burping the worm.
It did spit up. You remember the first time nut actually come out?
Oh, dude.
You remember? Because there's that first few times.
Having an orgasm and nothing came out.
I'm going to tell you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I remember that. And then all of a sudden.
Yeah, it just felt real good. I'm going to tell you exactly. I remember the night I found my penis. All right. I went, I was laying in bed. I'm scratching my balls. And as I'm bringing my hand back out, I just, for whatever reason, just grabbed my wiener and pulled my hand out. And I was like, what was that? And I put it back and I squeezed it again. And I was like, who? And I started just fucking with it. Also, it was like, ah! You know, I was like, oh, hell yes. Oh, hell yes.
I found something.
This is cool, bro. But, no. My dad caught me whacking off one time. Dude, this is a sad but a fucking hilarious story. I'm going to get right into this motherfucker. From the time I was about 13 on, I didn't eat dinner with the rest of my family. I would come downstairs and eat leftovers after dinner. Everybody else would have dinner, and I would stay upstairs, and I'd pick through the leftovers. Well, when I was a boy, my dad would have these temper tantrums, and I could see it on his face when it was about to happen. Like, I knew to run as soon as this look showed up on his face, because he was about to go into a fit of rage. So he would chase me down and choke me with my own arms. Now, if he caught me, he would do that for like about 30 minutes. Then all of a sudden this look would just recede, and then he'd get up and he'd walk away, and I'd, cry my little fucking heart out and shit. Well, one time I realized that if I was able to get away for that 30 minutes, like it was a tantrum that would end. Like the look in his face would change and he would leave. And if he didn't catch me in that time period, it wouldn't happen. Like we'd just go on about our lives like it would never fucking happen. Well, so one time I used the trick and it saved me. My grandma used to buy me phone cards because we only had landlines and we had to call long distance. You had to have them.
Yeah.
All right. So she ended up coming to get me, but I made it through. But after that, let's see, I'd figured out how to wedge a chair up under the knob because there was one time I did it and he unlocked the door, come in, did the shit. But a chair behind the door. So I'd figured that out. Well, he come back after that time and he took my doorknob. So that, you know, I couldn't, there was nothing to wedge a chair behind. Because I knew he was such a frugal man, he wouldn't break that door. Mm-hmm. You know, he wouldn't hurt his house, you know. But he took my doorknob. And I think my mom knew I'd been beaten off a little bit at this point. Like, there was a couple of times where I ran to my parents' bedroom and I went into the Vaseline jar and was like, lips are chapped. And then I'd run off to my room. Mom put it together, Dad didn't. Well, there's only a hole in the damn door. And I put a sock in it, you know what I mean, to block the view. Because I had this thing where, this is autism for you, I had to be butt-ass naked. It had to be real, you know, and people don't have sex with clothes on. So I had to be butt-ass fucking naked. Well, there I am, butt-ass fucking naked. Like 13 years old. In this 1970s Lazy Boy I got from Goodwill for $7. And my grandma brought it from Louisville, and it's old Mercury. But it's like, imagine you have prostate cancer, the color of your urine. That rusty 70s color. It was down stuffed, bro. It was the bomb. Well, I'm sitting in that motherfucker. Spread Eagle, got that son of a bitch up, and I've got a DVD. This was a luxury, a DVD, because you could pause it and it wouldn't burn up that spot of tape. If there was a titty scene on one of your buddy's VHS tapes, it would go and then back. It's because he paused it too long. You know, and I'd done that to all my damn VHSs. I had a DVD that had a titty scene in it. And it was something dumb. I want to say it was like a titty scene in like Monty Python's like Life of Brian. Like it had to be a comedic titty, otherwise I wouldn't get to see it. You know, I didn't get to watch R-rated titties. Like it would have to be like, it happened to show up. It's like R-rated, but not for the sex. You know, I mean, it really did happen. So I'm in a Lazy Boy. And I'm spread eagle. Hey, sorry about this. I'm spread eagle like this. I'm jacking my fucking little picker. And that door, I see it out of the corner of my eye, swings open. And Dad walks in, and this is his goddamn face. He goes, "What are you doing?" And he closed the door. Now, I fucking got right back to it, because I done been caught, you know. At this point, he can't uncatch me.
Sure.
So,
finish what you started.
Yeah, so I finished. I mean, it took a little longer, but not that bad. That's the testosterone of the male puberty. But I couldn't keep my hands off that motherfucker. So, but I was so ashamed that I didn't go downstairs to eat dinner with the rest of the family. And then I didn't the next day. And then I didn't the next day. And after a couple of weeks, I just said, fuck, nobody does care. And that was the last time. That was how I never, I ended up feeding off the leftovers. Did that not blow your goddamn mind? That's a good story. And it's true. It's true. It's fucking true.
I'm still giggling about the burping worm.
Yeah, no. Dad would straight up, my sister can't fucking handle, if you walk around and you're whistling to this day, it's a trigger for her because Dad would come home from work sometimes and you could just feel it, the aura.
Sure.
And that whole afternoon, it was a 3-story house, bro. 2-story with basement, full basement, finished basement, nice basement. It was a 5,200 square foot house. But he'd make his way from floor to floor and he'd just make laps whistling. And it was like a shark in the water. It was a Negan sort of feeling. Right. He was walking around just being a presence, just whistling. And he'd make comments to everybody. And then it almost became like a duck, duck, goose. He was gonna fucking go off on somebody. It's almost like he had to have a power trip. Like he was angry and had to have a power trip. He was just picking somebody. And it's like opening your fridge and then, checking your pantry, lowering the standards, opening the fridge, you know. And then somebody'd get got, you know. And it would be, as I got old enough to where he couldn't physically hold me down and do that anymore, he quit laying hands on people.
Sure.
But after that, he would just sit there and just pick you apart. apart with everything you never want to hear. Break you down to a very grassroots, just destroy you. And you couldn't do anything about it, say anything about it. Otherwise, like for me, I had dirt bikes, but if I didn't allow him to just, continue, if I had anything to say about it, it'd be taken away. I had some nice shit, but friends of mine didn't necessarily understand the level of anguish they brought because of the leverage. Like my dirt bikes, twice I showed up to his house after I moved out to one of my dirt bikes being loaded in the back of somebody else's truck. And this was in 2008. And he acted like, I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And like, you could at least holler at me and I'd give me the option to buy my own goddamn dirt bike. But yeah, so, and he acted like we're so goddamn broke, we're going to have to jack off dog feed the cat. And then he went and goddamn took the money and bought a convertible BMW that he still has to this day. Built that son of a bitch all up because he liked the little go-kart feel, he says. He still has it. He still has that motherfucker. You know what I'd really like to have back? My 2004 Honda CRF 450R. It was purchased from 1720 Scotts Ferry, Versailles, Kentucky, 40383, and this was like 2008, 2009. It had a Recluse clutch, a Dr. D Dubot Racing Development, low boy stainless system. It was the Forest Service compliant, with spark arrestor and shit. That system, I said the Recluse clutch, right? It had unibiker, radiator, cages. I don't think it got the Devals. I think it got a separate cage and then brace, but it had a skid plate and then the two little wings, not one piece built into a skid plate, because he busted a side case on it one time, trying to keep up with me. But yeah, so what else? It had like 5 teeth on the rear sprocket. It had the Iron Man, I believe it was, made a stainless steel sprocket. That might be right, but there was a stainless steel. I want to say it was Iron Man. Dude, and it was just the Fastway handguards they don't make no more. The piece, it replaces a piece in your mounts for your bars.
Sure, yeah.
It's a bracket that goes over there, and the handguards tie directly into that, dude. They're the toughest, ugly as sin, toughest fucking handguards ever made. If you're trail riding, you don't give a fuck, dude. You're just trying not to be 10 miles from the truck with a broken clutch lever. Which we had the Recluse,
hands too, because when I rode in the trees in Colorado, there's some tight trails, and you may bust a freaking hand on it, but you're also damaging the lever and all that other stuff. Yeah. So I didn't care how ugly the freaking guards were.
Come to think of it, I never really rode a dirt bike much without handguards, because my first dirt bike ever was a 2003 CRF 150F. That one was just outright mine. He bought me that. That was my dirt bike. I'd like that one back, 2003. But. That was just the only thing we really did too, is just put handguards on it, because I kept in these fields I was learning how to ride in. I kept breaking the clutch lever. I couldn't keep clutch lever on that motherfucker.
I got those. The last one I had was a KTM, and it had the breakaways. It was like really hard to break a damn lever. Yeah, that is the one reason. That's just I kept breaking fucking clutch levers. I put handguards on it. That was a gangster bike. I had an 02. It was an 02 520 KTM.
You got any fucking water up in this bitch? What are you thinking, bro?
That.
Bum 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 bum.
I got water. I don't want pop. I got a bunch of other stuff in there.
Pop. He said pop. I want to try one of these Dales. Can I try one?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, but just that shit.
Machete out of the way.
Let me just move this fucking self-defense machete. Machete. What's this? Back here too. Grab one of those Dales. Well, this half static. This, man, I wish. My brother-in-law was that's what I'm doing. I'm fucking high as a bitch.
You know what's really cool about these?
I think it's this one. My brother-in-law has his own of the at this brewery. He was my brother-in-law. He was a pretty cool guy. I wish shit hadn't gone the way it did, but it's just kind of like, fuck, what do you do?
Yeah.
I'm so goddamn high.
This Oscar Blues brewery. They have it here now. It's a little screen on their can, but it's actually it used to be over in a blank spot on some other cans. There's some pictures on the internet that'll show it, but it's a fake screen thing, and it's a spot for you to pop the holes in it so that you can smoke out of the can.
So you can make
Your
it.
can is literally, it was literally designed to have a spot for you to be like, pop the holes there, use the hole, you know, and perfect. But
Man, I don't like smoking out of aluminum. Did you
I
know?
don't like it either. That's, you know.
Well, do you know why it's so bad?
Fucking covered in chemicals and shit.
No, the aluminum. See, aluminum is found in increased amounts in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. In fact, there was a whole bunch of this big thing went back to this aluminum cookware that fucking gave Alzheimer's out like candy. You know, like there's a whole generation of people that used a cookware that now have Alzheimer's from it. So, you know what fluoride does? It increases your uptake of aluminum.
Fluoride's a terrible thing. I don't understand the fluoride situation. People talk about it. The dentists say it's good, but from what
it's bad. Good for your teeth. Bad for your brain.
Fluoride, straight actual fluoride, like the scientific fluoride.
God damn.
Good shit. That can be good for your teeth, but the fluoride they're using for city waters and stuff, that's a byproduct of a pesticide product.
Now, if you put just a little bit of bitter into, let's say, antifreeze before they put the bitter in there, no, it tastes like that. It tastes like carbonated antifreeze. It's pretty good. Like,
carbonated antifreeze,
dude, my dog almost died the other day. I have my 2007 YZ450F that one day hopefully is going to go back together. It is fucking low hour. In fact, it is so low hour because it's just not fucking worked the whole damn time I've had it, but I won't let go of it, you know? Anyways, I didn't think about the antifreeze being that goddamn old. Cause anymore they put bitter in it, you know? They won't eat enough to get hurt.
Right.
Fuck, we took that dirt bike apart, and then the next day my dog was farting and bloated. Goddamn the farts. You ever seen a dog? But luckily, thank you, Margaret. Margaret hit us up with we got to force feed the dog. She knew exactly what to do. She's like, force feed the dog Pedialyte. Just keep fucking whatever it takes. Because that's like, it's essentially they die from this like dehydration kind of thing that goes on.
Down too. They'll kind of clean it up.
Just if we can get it all to pass and her not die in the process, then she'll be okay. But it's the kidneys, I think. The kidneys take a hit from it or something. So it's like it's important to, like, you got to flush it out, but you also got to like give them the nutrients they're losing too. They'll water down. Like, is that what you're saying? Where they drink too much water and then die?
No, I'm not saying they drink too much water. I'm saying you're giving them water like that to
they'll end up like
water down the effects. Like you're keeping that in the system.
They end up, like kidneys fucking work themselves to damn death, or they'll fall out from like. I may be high as fuck, but I'm pretty sure this is what she said. Something about it fucks them up with the nutrients and shit.
Sounds right to me.
No, I'm high as a bee.
That's some good stuff, dude. It works really good. The sound effect from that.
West 6, hit me up. Go on, man. Gonna be a fucking loser. Get on board.
I'm gonna isolate. I'm gonna pull just that sound clip from that with the next part, and I'm gonna amplify the pour because from what I could hear from here.
Look, y'all are fucking morons. If y'all
sound. That's one of those sounded cool in headphones.
Hey, West 6. I'm gonna tell you right now. You would be a fucking moron not to hit me up right now. Okay, the money I would make for you, insane. That's all the pitch they fucking need. Fucking dude, if I don't get an offer from them, then I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I don't want to do business.
We are
that you know?
Sponsorship deals. If you're
if you're smart, you'll get on it. No, I said it before. I'll say it again. I'm not cocky. I'm confident.
Right.
I'm funny as a motherfucker. You know, it's just I have to figure out how to do that. I've always been fucking funny as fuck. I just got to figure out how to do it on film when other people are around. All these TikToks I make that are fucking phenomenal and hilarious, I literally go, and I put a pin in my daily life. I'll tell the people around me because the people I have around me know.
Sure.
I'll tell my old lady, stop talking. I got to go make a TikTok real quick because it's just a moment. Yeah. So I'm figuring out how to turn it on it at will, you know.
Sure.
Figuring out this game, dude. I love the art of comedy. I consider it a challenge. Because if I figure out one format, then I want to get better at it, but I don't want to figure out another one.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. The challenge.
Oh, yeah. Being able to, because, I mean, are you good at it until you're good at all of it?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
winning one fucking area out of a decathlon. You know what I mean? Are you that fucking special?
Very true.
Bitch.
Very true.
So invest. Invest right now.
We're not asking them. We're not asking the M1.
Here. Watch. This is a good like little video. Like, let's just like for maximum effect. Smoke pot, not tobacco, as I'm smoking this cigarette. Because then you'll end up like me. Dude, my voice did change throughout the course of meth. It sure did. Like, and there's a little cavity back here now that I think is probably like some sort of, them dinosaurs that had like, the cavity through the nose. That would go, that's why my voice is the way it is now. Because it's just hollow up in that motherfucker.
Well, Freddie Mercury, he's a singer that had a huge mouth, and that actually made him hit notes differently. So it definitely affects your voice.
I got some deep motherfucking.
I'm sure some people.
I probably have cancer of the throat, to be honest with you. I don't know. But now I have this hollow sounding. And then I'll go, dude, my CPAP feels wild. Because I can feel it. It goes, thump. As the pressure is building. My pressure has to be so high you can about air up a bicycle tire with it.
Oh.
At this point, like, they go my shit. Well, and there for a while, dude, when I was having all the panic attacks real bad, it was every single morning I'd have one. I'd wake up, try to take my pills as quick as I could to get some of the anti-anxiety medicines in me, go outside, smoke a bunch of cigarettes, and as I'd feel my chest relaxing where it's been puffed up all night, heart attack.
Yeah.
And what it is, like in my brain, I thought it was a heart attack. This is another time where I say be your own medical advocate. And if you don't have to start multiple medicines at once, I would recommend starting them one at a time because I'm looking at like I had multiple layers of side effects. And this one, it turns out, Pramipexole, I believe it was, my restless leg medicine. It turns out for some people, if they have bipolar tendencies a little bit, it can give them, can we look this up real quick?
Yeah, I didn't have
pre-morbid paranoia, like you're just subconscious every time you feel like you got to fart, you have a panic attack because your body thinks it's dying. It ain't up to you no more, player. Like, I've sat there and been like, this is stupid, as I can feel the blood just rolling over, up through the back, and you just feel fucked up, and then your blood pressure gets to 210 over 140, and you're,
What's it called? Premorbid what?
What?
Premorbid what?
Premorbid paranoia, something. It comes with Pramipexole, and we can look this up later. I'm going to have to hit these clippings. Well, I say we're probably coming up on an hour.
Yeah, we were at like 40 minutes earlier, so let me check. I had.
But like that, okay. So just then, like, I was in kind of
about 6 minutes left of space.
I was in kind of a mode.
50 minutes.
This is where, like, I'm proud of myself in the way I'm adjusting and teaching myself this comedy shit. Because when I was telling that story earlier, and your dad walked in, I was kind of in a rhythm, and it disrupted it for a second. It was terrible timing. But I worked it because he sat right there and I was like, sorry, man.
Right.
Bam. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the
right.
I'm learning that art because if I lose my rhythm, a lot of times that's what's making my tiki-talkies.
Sure.
If somebody interrupts me.
A switch out there and I have
opening, closed, or whatever.
Like, recording in progress or whatever.
Retarding in process.
Exactly. Retarding in process.
Retardation in progress.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
But did you see how
yeah.
I adjusted? That's one thing that I've been working on in this, figuring out the art of the joke.
Right.
Recovering from stumbles, because when I get in a rhythm, I'm funny.
I enjoy watching some of the intensity because, like the Russian hog piss thing that we posted earlier, it's just like really funny the way it's like you're just like
I'm invested.
What the hell? You're just it's so intense.
Yeah,
it's real.
fucking. Can you believe that fucking shit? Oh, we're gonna go over this again. I brought up a very real concern. How much our infrastructure can be dented if we don't get something to drive our trucks that comes from Russia. We need Russia to run our trucks.
Sure.
And they came out of the woodwork like heroes, bro. Mm-hmm. It's not real hog piss.
Yeah, did you see?
Okay, so now you're arguing it's worse. It's worse. Because, I'm sorry I didn't know this, I didn't think in a million fucking years that you could get it from hog piss, because people are like, how are you going to get it from the hog piss? Do you understand how these hog barns work? They're just literally thousands of pigs in a row on concrete. The piss goes somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Capturing it and filtering it. I mean, what the...
Yeah, it's right there, but instead of just doing that, bro.
Or is it a hog piss farm with a bunch of hogs just pissing on tubes?
It's a way. It's just a way to use something that's happening anyway. You know, we wouldn't have to ship it overseas if we just got it here.
Right.
So, for environmental standpoints, you don't want that much nitrogen in the fucking river anyway. You know, it would be great. It would be great for all parties involved if we did it here. But instead, Russians that could get it from hog piss, we're paying them to make it out of oil.
Yeah. That's the oxymoron of it. We're cleaning up a petroleum product with another petroleum product.
Yes.
Where is that going?
And that's where people... A lot of people vote. A lot of people vote real hard and they don't know a fucking thing. They vote so hard, bro. If there should be a license to do anything, it should be vote. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like before you get to cast your hat into this fucking ring, or whatever this saying is, we gotta know you know what the fuck you're doing. Because in order to drive a car, to hunt a deer,
you just have to have a pulse and be 18 to vote.
Yeah.
In this country, you know.
You know what I mean? I had to, when I was fucking 13 years old, I had to go get an orange card to hunt deer.
Right.
You know, just to make sure we didn't send a kid out in the woods with a gun that didn't really know what the fuck he's doing. And it still doesn't even work. Because the kid that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing with a gun doesn't give a fuck about that orange card.
My sons hunt with me in the woods.
But
I'm
we
their
did
hunter
it.
Safety card, okay?
Yeah, but we did the fucking song and dance and shit. But right now, I make a real solid effort to at least expose myself to other viewpoints and then digest the information and then adapt. Like, I want to make sure I'm voting for the right motherfucker. Right. You know, like, this song of bitch, I don't want it to just pay off for me. I want sustainable, too. This is why the fucking Native Americans fucking blow my mind. Man, the whole 7-generation company is based off the idea that, like, what you do always is it must be sustainable for 7 generations.
Sure.
You know, because after that, they can make adjustments too. You know what I mean? They're always looking out for themselves and the next 7. So that's awesome. I want that. Right.
We've gotten away from that. Families have even gotten away from that generational thought. I'm looking at what my kids are dealing with because my dad only was dealing with him. He wasn't looking past that.
Yeah, that was a very 90s mindset. You know what I mean? I feel like in the 90s, kids were pets. They were just a status. Like, it was something you did. You grew up, you bought a house, you had a kid, you have a wife, and then, you know, they'll still almost live, like, for themselves. Right. You know? Like, and now I'm at a place where, like, my little girl comes first. Everything. I will. Look, somebody fucking with my little girl, it would not bother me one bit to take an air hammer to his knees and elbows and get a little old burner phone. You're like, what's your mom's number? Okay. Tell her you love her. Right. And then hit him between the eyes with the fucking air hammer, and then I'll gut him like a fish and leave parts of him everywhere. I don't care, dude. That's a time where it's just like, but there's a difference between peaceful and harmless, you know?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the saying I like is there's no be a warrior in a garden and a gardener in a war.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at life. Don't fuck with my